You all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, 'cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, 'cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folkses, and we already have a full panel. Well, mostly full panel, just the usual riffraff. How y'all doing?
Usual gang.
It's not 9 o'clock in the morning. If you guys are looking at your clock, like, what the hell? No, don't forget to turn your clocks back.
Yeah, it annoys me that 3 years ago the House approved the I forgot what it was, daylight whatever plan.
It was basically keeping the daylight savings time as the normal U.S. standard time.
Ugh, fucking hate
Yeah,
daylight
it
savings
was.
time. I wanted to stay on standard time.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about. Well,
This
it
is
passed
terrible.
in the
This will be terrible all summer.
Well, it passed in the House to where we don't spring forward and fall back.
Yes, it's
But
true.
it's passed our House.
Fall back,
but-
spring forward. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it passed the House 3 years ago, and it's been sitting in the Senate. And I'm thinking, damn, how is this even hard to pass?
Because there's the debate still about which time.
Yeah.
Because for
Yeah,
everyone's health, we should stay on standard time. But for
I
everyone's
agree.
money, they want to stay on daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is trying to find out which time zone is going to be the central for the United States. Kind of like China, where they have
No,
10
we're not
different
talking
time
about a
zones.
single. No, we're not talking about a single time zone for all of the United States at this point. This is just whether to keep or get rid of daylight savings time.
Yep.
Yeah, because a lot of countries don't do it.
We have
No.
Saskatchewan doesn't do it. One of our provinces, they don't change time. They stay.
I grew up in
on
Arizona. We have mountain
I heard
time.
of
Yeah.
places that stayed on
Parts of
daylight
Arizona,
time and then
though.
had to switch.
We had a few
Now-
states that would do it, and then they did.
There's
But
only
Well,
one place. There's only one place in Arizona that does not change its clock. That's Navajo Reservation by the Four Corners.
one of the things we had, and one of the things that used to drive me
Change the
nuts
clock.
in the military was our Afghanistan meeting, our AOR meetings with people like in Afghanistan. And Afghanistan doesn't change its clocks. So, but we do. So we had to start the meetings an hour earlier. And it was like, fuck.
Well,
Like, we would just stay on one time zone.
if we want to actually talk about this, we would talk about why some people want it to be the daylight savings time and why some people want it to be the opposite. And
Well, daylight
The
savings time is
opposite
so that they can play
standard.
golf and people will go to bars later at night and they make more money.
well, there's
Well-
that. And farmers want to have more daylight during the day or like during the morning, so they want it to be off daylight savings time.
No, they don't.
They don't. I don't think they care. They just get up when
No,
they gotta
they
get up.
don't. They have the technology. I've seen them out there way before the sun comes up. They don't need the sunlight anymore.
They just do what they got to do when they got to do it.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe technology has gotten rid of it. I know originally it was for the farmers.
No, it was not. Farmers can't.
that
It was
choose
for the
what they
it
know
was for the
they're-
trains. The daylight saving time was for
I
the
thought-
trains.
No, because Benjamin Franklin's the one who first submitted the idea of daylight savings time for the U.S.
I heard
And
there's
that
a
was
law
one
that
of the
always-
trains.
It got adjusted thanks to the Pacific Railroad system because the clocks were different in different areas. Like, wait a minute, 1 o'clock or 1:05 or 2 o'clock. They had to centralize it. It was thanks to the railroad system.
Yeah, but that was when we were standardizing the time zones.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading about that in history class.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mythology around why they started it. I think
because originally a lot of towns. Okay, hold on. A lot of towns had their central clock towers, and those towns would always set their clocks for that town or that clock tower based on when noon was at that town.
right.
So everyone in that general area would then set their watches based on that clock tower. So you say you want to be there at your train is going to get there at 5:05, like Ollie was kind of saying, where it was at that specific train station for that specific town. But someone on the train, it's arriving from their time from another town, and it's actually like 5:12.
Yeah, really? I didn't know that.
Makes sense.
No, but it makes sense. Yes, absolutely. Because everybody was adjusting their times to the different time zones. Remember, nobody knew originally how big this part of the continent was. Let alone.
Well, by the time we had the trains, we did.
Yeah, we had California.
Yeah. Well, of course, by then we did, but that took a while and quite a few people. Remember when I was talking about Daniel Boone and Lewis and Clark?
But yeah, I remember my teacher reading newspaper articles from that time period, and it was like people were all, the government had sent people all across the nation to tell people, okay, you're going to now set your clock at noon at this exact time so that all the time zones will be standardized. And apparently it was a really big deal and a really big accomplishment because it wasn't just the United States that did it. It was all across the world that were standardizing the time zones. So it was a pretty big deal at the time. And yeah, mostly it was because of trains.
Well, that's an interesting history lesson, Mike. I'll have to look into that.
I wish I could remember when it happened, though. I know it was
1890s or something like that.
I want to say it was post-Civil War, like 1880s, 1890s, but I'm pulling that out of my ass.
It's been a long time since I heard about this in school. I mean, I grew up in Arizona. We didn't have time zones. We learned about this. Like, why don't we have time zones? Well, this is why. Like, okay.
Well,
this is why we don't take our clock back.
Well, my government history teacher at the time was one of those out there type teachers. So we kind of recreated it. So we were all supposed to be setting our watches, which is really funny because most of us didn't really have real like wind up watches. I had a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers watch that I used.
I had a calculator watch.
Right.
We were told all. Sorry.
I think I'm gonna head out. I'm not really here to get harassed from the chat. I'll catch you guys later.
Wait, what's happening in the chat?
He's just being an asshole.
Oh, Darren?
Come on, Darren.
I'm just not in the mood for it today. I'm not in a mood for this kind of thing. So I will.
Darren, come on, man. Show some civility. Come on, Dandelion. Don't go.
I'm really not up for it today. And I hate talking about daylight savings time. It's I have a passionate hatred for it. And I don't want to get
okay. Mike, change the subject for the lady.
No. I don't want to change the subject. You go right ahead. I'm gonna head out, and I'm not in.
Are you going for a hike today?
Probably just a walk, not a hike. I'm not feeling great, so I will catch you guys later. Okay, have fun.
All right, later. Sorry, Dandelion.
Later.
Thanks, Darren.
She doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, she don't feel that way, buddy. Anyway, when it comes to it, I mean, I just think its purpose has been said and done. Like a lot of
Well-
things. Sometimes they were good for the time, but technology has, made certain things like that obsolete. Like I said, when I see the farmers out, they'll be out before the sun's up, even during standard time, because they don't need it.
Dude, the international community had a hard time establishing time zones for for Antarctica. Basically, whatever a country is there in that part, that's the time zone they are in. So basically, you can have somebody at 11 o'clock in the morning, and your next door neighbor can be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, what is it? There are in CONUS, there is Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific, and then I think there's Alaska and Hawaii time zone for their regions.
I believe so too. I think they have their own time zones. I honestly don't know because I've never been to Hawaii. Elihu, you can tell us.
Yeah, you can tell us.
Hawaii is 6 hours behind New York.
Okay.
Okay, so they're actually 3 hours. So they're 2 or 3 hours ahead of us here on the Pacific Coast.
They're behind.
So you've been
3 hours behind California, 6 hours behind New York.
You've also been to Alaska, right?
Yes, it's an hour behind California.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not far off.
Oh, come on. Now my lighter's not working.
You don't have a car cigarette lighter?
No. In fact, the modern plugins for it, where you plug it in for like right now I got my cell phone charger plugged in. It won't even work with a cigarette lighter if I were to buy one at like a auto parts store.
What kind of bullshit is that?
A lot of new cars no longer have the cigarette lighters installed automatically. It's an option you have to upgrade for.
Yeah. And the standard outlet is optimized for electrical production, not for generation of heat.
Yeah, you can plug shit in now.
Which is kind of funny because, the original purpose of it was for that.
Oh, Elihu, I wanted to finally answer the question that you asked.
42. 42.
Yes, I know the answer is 42. The answer is always 42. I did, when you asked 5 panels ago, I did finish Skeleton Crew.
Oh, okay. That's fine. What? Oh, yeah. Good Nelson.
And, for a second there, I was trying to remember what the fuck Skeleton Crew was.
Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I did finish it.
Well, the reason I was confused for a second was because based on some of the stuff I've watched, Tubi was recommending to me to watch Black Sails and Vikings.
Black Sails is good. Vikings is also good.
So I was immediately, when you said Skeleton Crew, I immediately went to Pirates and Vikings in my head. So not Star Wars. But yeah, what did you think? Because I thought it was actually pretty good for the most part.
For the most part, I thought it was a cute show. I thought it had...
Poor Neil. Poor Neil. All he wanted to do was go home.
Well, I had kind of a Goonies vibe with a little Lost in Space.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because you could argue that's the same premise for Star Trek Prodigy.
Really?
Yeah, remember, have you seen Star Trek Prodigy yet?
No, remember that was on Nickelodeon. I did watch an episode too, but I'm the one who said this is I'm too old for this. I just said, it wasn't something I'd be interested in. And
yeah, they did the lazy writing of Bootstrap Paradox.
No, it wasn't lazy writing. I think it was actually really good writing because they literally had it where it was they changed the timeline twice without even realizing it.
Well, my whole thing is I just said, okay, I'm not really the target audience for this, and that's okay. And I left it at that. I never said anything bad about the show.
But I mean, the very general premise of some kids who don't really know what they're doing find a spaceship. They have a mentor-ish figure that is from the past in one way or the other. In Prodigy, it's the hologram Janeway. In Skeleton Crew, it's the robot.
I did like the robot, the android. I did.
Yeah.
Like,
I come on, I had to like his peg leg. I mean, that was just a great little tidbit, and the fact that he's missing an eye and everything. I mean, he looks like a robot pirate from the Caribbean movies.
I love the fact that he kept on. Hang on. I love the fact that the robot kept on saying the truth. I can't say anything about that. And he can't say he didn't know. He can't say I love that troll line. I can't say. Yeah, that's why you can't say because you were ordered. I love that.
And I do like how the characters. Okay, so let's talk about this. These are shielded planets. And I mean, even the robot says when they talked about the Empire, and he's like, Empire, it's like, miss the war, I see. None of them have a clue what has gone on in the galaxy. And then they go to the other planets, and they've been hit by pirates already. And it's like they talk about this treasure, and the kids have no idea what they're talking about because they don't understand, and that starts off at the beginning with the Old Republic credits and how valuable they are. And I thought it was cute. I mean, each character, they start off, a little rebellious towards each other, but then they start to come together. That captain is like, I don't even know what I'm doing. The one who's so confident, and she finally breaks in. She's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And he's like, we wouldn't have survived this long without you. You deserve to be the captain. I mean, there were many good moments. I was like, this is good Star Wars.
I do like the fact that what's his name's character, Jude Law, that you kind of thought it was, at different points whether he was going to be end up turning into the good guy or going the bad guy route. And I do like the fact that, and this is a major spoiler for if you haven't seen it, he ends up being the bad guy. And usually you would think that the Jedi-ish character was going to go good, and he doesn't. And I really liked that idea.
Yeah,
it's almost as if for the second season of Prodigy, if Chakotay ended up being the bad guy.
He is a bad guy. Beltran is a bad guy.
No, the character Chakotay, the character, is still a good guy.
Yeah, I know, but Beltran is a bad guy.
But one of the things was, right there with Jude Law, you're kind of wondering, he lets the kid believe he's a Jedi because as far as this kid knows, the Jedi are still out there. They don't know about, and when you find out they don't know about the Empire or anything like that, and these people have been sheltered and stuff, I kind of like seeing a Suburbia in Star Wars. I was like, well, that's different, but I like it.
They are living a life before Moss decided to attack the Empire, when everything was all peaceful, hunky-dory, before the Jedi became the enemy. This is the life they were living in. They were in a bubble.
Yeah, the way I look at it, because that the suburbia life that they had kind of reminded me of like the 1950s retro future aesthetic.
Yes, I thought the same thing.
Okay, to me, that reminded me of that scene in Attack of the Clones, where Kenobi's talking to the Dex guy at the diner, and the diner also has that 1950s aesthetic, retro futuristic aesthetic.
Hey, he just went live.
Tracks.
Maybe And maybe there was a time where that kind of stuff was more commonplace, and that diner on Coruscant was just a throwback to the type of communities that these planets had.
Yeah, exactly. I could see the same thing, but I like seeing a different society other than just desolate worlds or Coruscant that was a big city. It was very interesting to see kind of a 50s suburbia, and then when they pan out and you're looking at it, it's like, oh, this is suburbia.
Yep.
This is the burbs.
Compared to the mountaintop of the only land on Coruscant where they had dudes trying to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah. But I mean, it really was its own story, which I liked. And I did like that Jude Law became the bad guy, ultimately at the end.
Now, I think they left it open that he could possibly return as a not necessarily villainous character in the future, but I want to see what happens when, because I don't even know when this episode or when that show takes place per se. I just know it's after
38 BBB, 38 BBB, something like that. 40.
No, not 38.
No. It's before. I think it's between episode 6 and 7, I believe.
No, it takes place, as far as I know, in the same timeline as Boba Fett, Mandalorian, 9 BBY or 89 ABY.
Yeah, because at the end when they have the X-wings and stuff that come in to save the day, they're flying, the episode 6 or the original trilogy era of X-wing. They're not doing the newer ones from the newer movies. So
yeah, but when you look at Ahsoka, they had E-wings, or were the E-wings in? Anyway, there were E-wings, and E-wings didn't make a debut until Dark Empire.
Well, in Legends they came later. As far as I can tell, they came a little bit earlier in the Disney timeline.
Yeah, obviously, because Dark Empire was 6 ABY. But yeah, as far as I know, this was like 8-9 ABY. The same timeline as other things. I mean, remember, it's a big galaxy. What happens in a galaxy?
Well, as I said, I did enjoy it. But of course, I also enjoyed Ahsoka. I enjoyed all the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. So I think the only one I didn't enjoy as much was Andor, and I think it's just because while there was things in Andor I liked, it was just too slow for me.
Is it too slow and political? Is that why?
Well, no, I as I said, during the first episode or first 3 episodes, I fell asleep, 3 or 4 times trying to watch it.
Oh.
Well, the interesting thing is, I think Andor was one of the best. I've seen the trailer for season 2, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I want the Ahsoka show to do a little bit better on season 2. I just felt the live action version of certain characters was a little more wooden than their animated counterparts. But other than that, I did enjoy it. I love the scene with Anakin and how he goes against her, and it's like, oh, well, she got him. It's like, no, she didn't get him. That wasn't a fight. That was a lesson.
Yeah, because it's more of in her mind, from what I understand, and for her, Anakin is forever going to be her teacher, even if he did betray her. And in her mind, she still wants to be able to learn from him.
Yeah, but one of the things was her eyes got yellow, and then she said, I choose to live. But remember, Anakin's eyes went red because he's the balance of the Force, you know, and then he closes his eyes and he goes, there's hope for you yet. And I mean, that's why I said it wasn't a fight. It was the final lesson. When he said, I haven't taught you everything. She's like, I think you taught me enough. And he's like, it's never too old to learn something new, Snips. That was a good moment. Now, I did like Baron's skull. Too bad they'll have to decide what to do with the character, the actor who played him, because he's passed.
Yeah.
And I did like his fighting style, you know, kind of having that knight style of fighting. That was different.
I also like the fact that you think he's the bad guy, or you think he's like a Sith at the point, but his lightsaber is not actually red. It's more of an orange.
Yeah.
Indicating that he's not fully Sith. I think choosing that color for him was a very good idea.
Wasn't orange the old Republican Jedi Guard?
That was yellow.
Oh, that was yellow. Anyway, yeah. He wasn't.
Yeah, it was Sentinels had yellow, Guardians had blue, and Consulars had green.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and that's why if you look at a lot
funny.
of the Clone Wars stuff, a lot of them even switched their colors from from green to blue, because they were now more Guardians than they were Peacemakers. And that was something George Lucas put intentionally.
Well, there was that one scene in Attack of the Clones where Ki-Adi-Mundi is holding one lightsaber color and then he's holding another.
Yep.
But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, some of it's been good. Some of it's been bad. Acolyte, I would say, was the worst.
I probably would agree with you, but even when that one was bad, it was still not to the level of certain bad that I would have expected from people's complaints. To me, it was a throwaway storyline that did what it needed to do, and they don't really need to continue it because they can be used as a fodder character in a future story.
I don't like the whole, look, here's the thing. I don't like the whole bleeding the kyber crystal. I just don't like that part of Disney canon. I prefer the red saber to be an artificial kyber crystal.
Well, the reason they did that, from what I understand, was because George Lucas said that the lightsaber that Luke Skywalker made after he lost his hand at Bespin was an artificial crystal as well.
Well, yeah, I remember that part.
So they wanted to make a unifying reason as to why all lightsabers either are those specific colors.
Yeah, but I mean, making a kyber crystal bleed, and she did it so easy. And then, you had Vader, who in the comics had a hell of a time turning his kyber crystal red when it shouldn't have been that difficult. But, hey, they decided
Well,
what they were going to do. And
I'll be honest. Hold on, NB. I got to interrupt you for this because I think it was a brilliant idea to make it Darth Vader's red crystal being so hard to make bleed, and that for that euphemism, because I don't think it actually bleeds. But because of what Luke says at the end of Jedi, he still has good in him. It shows the conflict in Vader, even back then.
Yeah, that would have made more sense if that had been Legends back then, but it wasn't. It was just, the standard was it was an artificial kyber crystal, just like Luke's was with the green one. But not that it was a bad idea. I think it just came too late. Because I'm kind of still a little stuck in, and I mean, I'm always going to be stuck in the EU. That's just my.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's problems, even mine, because I can't even go back and reread some of my favorite Star Wars books because to me, since they're not canon, it's like, what's the point of going back and rereading them, even if I thought they were really great at the time? And I'm specifically talking about the New Jedi Order. Those books, because I thought those are some of the best Star Wars books ever written.
How do you explain Mace Windu's purple lightsaber? Because if you combine the red and green crystals, it makes yellow, not purple.
Because he just happened to get a rarer crystal. He specifically was like, I need to be, I want mine to be more different because I focus on this version of lightsaber combat. Because I believe that he specifically used Form 7, which was one of the closest to the dark side versions. So that's why he wanted the purple lightsaber.
Yeah, it was Vampa. And he was the only one who could master it.
I just know that Samuel wanted a purple lightsaber so he can spot himself in the crowd.
Yep. I mean, from a production standpoint, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
From the canon, I think it was just.
Yeah, he said he wanted a purple lightsaber, and he wanted a little thing on there in Bosch that said the whole thing, bad motherfucker, BMF.
And of course, when I played Knights of the Old Republic back in the old Xbox days, as soon as I found a purple lightsaber crystal, that was the one I used for the rest of the game, even if it was less powerful than ones I found later on, just because I wanted the purple one too.
I can make a purple lightsaber right now. Actually, I can make a bunch of different colors. This is what I like about my lightsabers.
I'm a poor nerd. I can't afford one. So, you guys seen Daredevil yet?
No,
yes, I saw the
I haven't had time.
episodes.
Okay, before you make any complaints, I just want to let you know that 3 episodes were entirely rewritten, and the pilot is one of them. The second episode was the original, so that's why it seemed a little different.
Yeah, I understand that. I didn't mind the second episode. I actually am just glad we've gotten back to the gritty times. I mean, there's a mention of the Hawkeye thing where the Hawkeye series, which I liked, where Echo shoots him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he makes a joke about that. Ah, yes, the youth. But they make no mention of the Echo series. And, I just kind of liked how the first two episodes have gone. I kind of figured out real quick who was going to die.
Are you sure? Because the interview with Andy, one of the directors, he made a little comment about looking at all these videos of people doing the Easter eggs and breakdowns, but nobody's paying attention to the law firm. And people just scrambling, what? And they're going to the law firm looking at this. I'm like, I don't see nothing wrong with this. And one person pointed out, oh, wait a minute. When Foggy got shot, look at the address. It matches the exact comic book what deals with Foggy getting shot or killed. And he's been confirmed to be in season 2.
I'm thinking back, and I don't know if I actually watched the Echo series. I don't even remember if I did or not.
I did. It wasn't very good.
He was. Sorry.
It had potential, but it didn't work out.
Because I know I didn't finish Secret Invasion, and that's the only Marvel thing I haven't watched all the way through. But now that I think about it, I'm like, did I watch Echo? Because I don't remember them advertising much for it.
No, they didn't.
So maybe it's just me. Maybe I'll try to go back and watch it before I watch Daredevil. But me, I tend to watch things after they come out for a few episodes. So
I think Feige was trying something because every time they have a show or movie, it's mass production. I think he wanted to see, okay, people know what's out. Let's just tell them what's out and that's it, and see how it goes.
Yeah, look, Mike, you don't have to watch Echo to catch Daredevil Born Again.
Well, I just might do it because it's Echo's already out, and Daredevil's not. So
there's only 2 references from Echo in the new Daredevil Reborn. It's the comment about didn't she shoot you in the face, and about him not wanting to cover up the scar and the makeup. That's the only thing.
Well, what I mean is, I like to binge a little bit because I usually am watching this stuff while I'm working or I'm listening to it while I'm working. So I can listen to that. Oh wait, Echo she's deaf, so there's going to be a lot of reading involved, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll be able to listen to that one while I'm working because it'll just be subtitles. Fudge. I don't know. Maybe I won't watch it.
You don't need to. I mean, seriously, they only mention references to him getting shot in the eye and the scar, and those are from Hawkeye.
No, those are both from Echo series reference.
Okay, well, still, it's been years. I mean, they both admit it's been years since they've seen each other.
I also haven't watched the new Captain America yet, but that's just because, again, it's not out other than theaters, I believe. I know Mrs. Vile has Disney Plus, so maybe we'll watch it when it comes to Disney Plus.
How's that been doing? Let me check Box Office Mojo.
Well, I'll tell you a little fun thing about it. Occasionally, I try to get certain things from my stores, like cardboard displays. And when I saw one of the Captain America displays where it has the Falcon Captain America wings spread, holding the shield up, sticking out from the background, I was like, oh, if you guys are going to throw this away, I'll take it off your hands. And one of the other employees was like, oh, no, I've already claimed it. It's mine. So people wanted the display trash and we're fighting over it.
All right.
Although I will be getting the Venom, one of the Venom display pieces. For the third Venom movie.
America 4 has made worldwide $348.5 million.
Which costs about 140 million to make.
Yeah, except that we all know it costs a lot more than that.
Yeah, but based on the amount of product, hold on. And B, based on the number of product that is sold related to the movie, they're not going to be losing any money anytime soon on it.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they spent a lot more than 140 million on that. You don't do that many reshoots for most of the movie and not go over your budget.
It cost about $15 million to do the research, to do the reshoots, so it was about 140 million total to make it.
Million.
Yeah, that's what I said, million, right?
You said billion.
Oh, sorry, I meant million. Thank you. I'm not Elon. I'm not exaggerating funds.
Well, it hasn't done too well. I had no interest in it.
Oh, I definitely had interest in watching it. It's just that the time of actually trying to go to a theater nowadays is just really hard for, me, unless I'm going by myself, and I don't want to go by myself.
There's a couple websites, I'm not going to name them, that people actually watch movies that are currently in the theater, and they usually come out a day, the night before,
Yeah.
the day of, and
I know.
hang on, let me finish. Captain America was 2 days after the release before it got online, so I'm like, wait a minute, if it's the delay, usually it's a good thing because it's the delay on the release of these sites. The movies that come out early, they bomb like shit. If it's a delay coming out, it's usually a good thing, and Captain America took a couple days to get out. Mickey 17 is not even available online yet. That came out Friday.
What came out?
Mickey 17.
What is that about?
Robert Pattinson's new movie about a clone. He dies. He supposed to saving humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looks funny. I got to see that, but I'm like, damn.
What I mean is trying to schedule, which kids want to go see it, and then paying for it at a movie theater since, younger kids can't go to Mexico, where it's much cheaper to go watch a movie. If I want to bring, the 3 kids plus myself and everything, it's going to end up costing me well over $100 just to go see a movie.
Yeah, I know that feeling. That's why I don't normally go anymore.
And even then, half the kids don't want to go see that movie because they're not Marvel fans.
Well, my kids do their own thing. I mean, when we saw when Five Nights at Freddy's was both getting streamed and seen in the movie theaters, I just was like, well, shit. It'll be cheaper for me to stream it here and do that than go to the movie theater. So my kids all came out. They all loved it. Hell, we all loved it. I mean, you remember me talking about it, and I said I had this kind of thing about it was 3 different types of movies, and you told me, Mike, I described the 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good movie.
The movie theaters make their most of the sales are concessions, and the Metron down here, the Metron down here, they have like $6 for a box of candy, right? You can go to Target and get the exact same thing for $1.50.
Yeah, the thing is,
it's been like that. It's been like that for years, Elihu.
Yeah, the thing is, people used to set concession stands up in front of theaters. Theaters realized they were losing money on this, banned them from there and started making their own concession stands. That happened, I don't know when, 30s, 40s, 50s. The early days of cinema, so probably the 20s.
But what bugs me about modern concessions is it's basically stadium concessions except for popcorn. Because everything they sell now is exactly what they sell at a fucking baseball game except for popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got nachos, they got hot dogs, they got pizza. It's like, just let me get a popcorn and a soda. Except now the popcorn and soda cost me $20.
Well, when I go by myself, I just get water.
I don't bother with it if I go to the movies. Like, what's the point? I'm not going to just waste all this money on the soda and popcorn and snacks. I'm just going to watch the movie.
It's one of the reasons I still like going to the drive-in, because you can bring your own food to the drive-in, and they don't argue, they don't fight you on it. They're like, okay, just bring it in.
Yeah, we got food inside. Bring your own, but we got food inside. You pay for the movie. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, they don't care. Drive-ins.
Yeah, the only thing they don't let you do is cook your own food, so you can't like bring a grill or something.
Yeah, no tailgating.
You should saw this time when I was in my first time at a NASCAR race was Sonoma, California. I get there about 8 a.m. There's guys already cooking and popping beers. And he's like, hey, you want a beer and some breakfast? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Wow, watching cars make left turns for a couple hours. Excitement.
Well, if you understood the sport, yes.
Well, see, I do understand the sport. I still find it incredibly boring, except for the last 10 laps.
Yeah, I know about drift. I know about air resistance. I know about that. Yeah, I know about the sport, man.
And hold on, MB. I would say that I would never say that those people are not athletes, because trying to maintain, coordination and concentration while driving that fast for that long, when you have no air conditioning, you're, covered in safety equipment.
You're losing weight in the sweat. Yeah.
Yeah, those people are most definitely. Hold on, I just want to say most NASCAR drivers and Formula One drivers are absolutely athletes.
Yeah, Frankie Muniz. Sorry, but like Frankie Muniz, the dude's a wet noodle. He has to have a lot of calorie intake in order to maintain his consciousness while he's driving. He's a noodle. He said, "I got to eat a lot of oatmeal in the mornings."
We had this. We had some drivers back in the old days. It was like, how do you deal with the hot temperatures? And someone said they train in the hottest of days with their heaters on while driving their cars, so they could get used to the heat. I mean, there were times they used to have people who would be the replacement driver because the heat stroke just got to them. Now they do have a bit of an air conditioner, but it's still not the same as what you would think. They don't have a speedometer. They just have an RPH.
You mean a tachometer?
Yeah, a tachometer. Thank you. And, you got super speedways. You got road courses. You got short tracks like Martinsville.
Well, one of the things I saw recently was a comparison of the pit stops over the from 19. It was they were just had a camera on for the pit stop, and they were showing it by year and how each year it was going faster and faster. Sometimes by a fraction of a second, sometimes by a full second. And they were like, in the 1950s or 60s, pit stops were almost 12 seconds long, and now they show one from like 2019, and the pit stop it was exactly was less than 1 second.
Well,
They fueled it. Well, I'm just saying they fueled it. They changed all the tires in less than a second.
one of the, I think it was the Daytona 500. I can't remember the exact race, but they brought an Indy or a Formula One pit crew in, and they were just able to do everything better than the stock car drivers could do back then. Now, with F1 now, you only fill the tank once for a full tank, and then, you know, they changed the one nut, and then they put the wheels back on after they replace them. And so, yeah, they have quick stops. In NASCAR, they do more old school. And you used to have people like Johnson, who, after he got out of racing, became an owner. And he'd go out and be like a mechanic. He knocked his own people down to get the crank to the other side.
Wasn't NASCAR originally inspired by the bootleggers?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was inspired by the bootleggers because they would want to test their vehicles out, and they would test them out on Daytona Beach. And I mean the actual beach.
Yep. And basically they were continuously upgrading their cars because they wanted to be faster than the police, but they also needed a smooth ride to not to damage the alcohol that they were carrying. So they would, you know, put weights in their car to simulate the alcohol. They'd race each other to see who had the best car, essentially. Because it became a bragging point, just having a good car. Not even if you were, you know, transporting alcohol. You just wanted to have a good car.
It was an ego thing back then.
Yeah.
Still is now. Like everything else, you get some bragging rights.
So
anyway, this last NASCAR race, they weren't on an oval. They were on Texas Circuit of the Americas, the Formula One track. Now, Formula One is a completely different animal.
yeah,
that's really about you and the car. Can you drive that car? And most normal people can't drive a NASCAR. Most normal people can never drive a Formula One.
I think you had it the opposite way, because most people could drive a NASCAR car because they are supposed to be quote unquote stock, but a Formula One, yeah, people don't realize that these the fins in the front and the back, the spoiler, and the I don't know what it's called in the front, but I'm just going to call it a spoiler too. They're designed to actually push the car downward.
Yeah, downward force.
Yeah, it's not because it makes it go faster. It's to make sure that the car doesn't actually flip up and into the air like those jet
a flying car. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, I've seen on drag racers where they use the Formula One-ish car, and suddenly the spoiler, like half the spoiler breaks off, and the car flies up into the air.
Take off.
No, spoilers in the back, the fins in the front.
I don't know the correct terminology. I'm not a huge fan. I just know the aerodynamics of them.
Yeah, but I mean, they're very fragile cars. I mean, but when you're out in the lead and you got that clean air, you can get away if you're the right driver for the car. Now, I'll tell you a guy I remember who was really good in F1. Sebastian Vettel. He was a damn good German driver. Now you have Hamilton, who's won more races than Michael Schumacher and has the same amount of champions as him. So, yeah, he's been good, but he's also shown he can do it with different teams. And that's what shows you what a real champion is sometimes. When they can win championships with different teams.
Hey, Sci-Fi Nation.
And Elihu, if we're going to talk about science real quick, I wanted to bring up something with you because I thought maybe you would find this just as funny as I did, because I will be pointing it out when I come out with the review. I spent a good chunk of yesterday and Friday working on the next vial review for the next TOS episode, which is oh shoot, what is it? It's the one with Lazarus. I can't remember. I said the title a bunch of times on Friday, but I can't remember it right now.
I have it in mind for it, dude. I know what episode you're talking about.
Okay. At one point, Spock says that the atmosphere of the planet they're scanning is comprised of only hydrogen and oxygen.
Is that an H class?
No. They go down and they still are able to breathe on it, but Elihu, why would that be a bad thing in science to have an atmosphere comprised of nothing but hydrogen and oxygen?
Well, we got 78% nitrogen in our atmosphere.
No,
you ever heard of something called hypoxia?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
You ever heard of something called hypoxia?
No, I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah, that's what can happen to your blood. That's what can happen to your blood in that kind of atmosphere, man.
But I was talking more about what do we use as rocket fuel now?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Oxygen, yeah.
What happens when nitrogen and oxygen happen to meet a single spark?
We know what happens.
And no, we don't really use kerosene anymore for rocket fuel, sci-fi. But yeah, it would be basically when at the end of the episode when they use the phasers to destroy Lazarus's ship, that would have caused the entire planet's atmosphere to explode.
Yeah, it would have caught on fire.
I mean,
I can't wait till my portable DVD player gets here. I'm gonna watch Star Trek. I'm gonna watch all of them, starting with the original.
But yeah, I basically spend most of the episode making fun of that episode because it's one of the worst episodes of Star Trek.
Come on. The whole fun of Star Trek is we love it and we can nitpick it out of joy. So
I'm literally. Oh, I don't want to give too many spoilers for the episode, but let's just say
the episode was how old?
Well, let's see. It came out in 1969 or 19. Was it 1967?
Okay, well, I think spoilers. I think the spoiler warning is long over.
No, I'm talking about the spoiler for my review of it.
Oh,
be right back.
So, but yeah, hopefully I'll have it done. Right now, my work schedule is Sunday to Thursday instead of Monday to Friday now. So, hopefully I'll be able to get it out before the end of this month.
Well, one of my favorite episodes is the one where Roe and LaForge get phased out. And I'm like, I love that episode, but I nitpick it all to hell.
Star Trek, because they try to predict some of the stuff and they want to just be able to tell good stories. Yeah, some of the science just doesn't work. But this is one of those episodes where like everything is just bad science.
Well, that's why they had Technobabble.
Yeah, I even make a point about mentioning that. But the thing is, the technobabble they uses real words instead of, outside of the dilithium crystals, everything in the episode is real world science, and they just portray it really bad.
Well, remember, they used to call them lithium crystals at first.
Yeah, it was just one episode. This isn't. They mentioned the dilithium crystals a bunch of times in this episode, but it was not the first time they say dilithium crystals. That was one of the previous episodes.
Anyway, I'm just looking forward to getting back to. I'm watching The Expanse again. I finished Cobra Kai. What a great!
I haven't finished it yet, but I really want to, especially before the new movie comes out.
Well, it was a great cap off to a great series. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, and I'm happy for that.
NB, do you have clear skies today?
Yes, I do.
Okay, take your telescope out around 11 o'clock. Look at the moon.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'll be right back.
well, I can't wait
This is a great time for the telescope you got to do some moon observation in daylight. It's a good time today, dude.
Yeah, as long as I can get some clear sky. Man, we are really waiting for spring to take it out on the deck and start stargazing. I mean,
That's why I said the moon today, man. It's a good time. It's 78% full. It's clear. It's in the mid sky. It's perfect. Perfect time for viewing.
yeah, I got to watch the moon one time so far, and I was just like seeing craters and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this is just beautiful."
Oh, you have that attachment. You have that attachment for your phone, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, make sure you download the app. What's it called? Mega Zoom.
All right.
Yeah, if you have the attachment for your phone for your telescope, download the app Mega Zoom for your camera. Okay, it's a new camera app. You can zoom in 10 times crystal clear, 10 times further than your actual normal camera can. Mega Zoom.
Mega Zoom. All right.
Yes.
All right. I'll take a look at that. I might have to ask you again if I forget. But yeah, I mean, this
Look
year
at this.
we are.
This Mega Zoom right here.
Yeah.
Start camera. This is what it looks like. You can zoom in here. Look, it's one. I'm going to show you this. One. Look at this. I'm sorry. I'm going to go on plus right here. 7, 10, 11, 15. Look how close this is.
Wow.
Yeah. Compared to actual normal vision, okay? So closer, closer, closer. He's not closer to David Copperfield. Holy shit. Look how close that is. See? Mega Zoom, dude.
Yeah.
Mega Zoom, okay?
Yeah, I got you. Mega Zoom.
It's good for lunar observation.
Let me grab my phone. Let me grab my iPhone real quick.
Yeah, maybe I'll take my. I got my tripod in the car. Maybe I'll take it out and attach the cell phone when because I still want to try to take the kids out to go watch the lunar eclipse.
On the 13th at 11:26 p.m. Pacific time. That's when it starts. And I'm going to be outside if it's clear. Definitely.
Is it hard
Well, let
for
me check my calendar real quick.
Elihu, is it hard for you to see things with all the light pollution?
It is so bad here. I can only see Beetlejuice. That's the only star of Orion I can see is the right shoulder. Nothing else. Yeah, it sucks here.
Yeah, I was checking the calendar. That's a Thursday, which might make it a little more difficult than take the kids out because I usually have them on Friday, not Thursday. Plus, it's a school night.
What do you mean you have the kids?
I pick up my kids Fridays and Tuesdays from school.
Who do they stay with otherwise?
Their mom.
Their bio mom?
Yeah, well, or adopted mom.
Well, there's kind of a difference, so please elaborate.
Well, remember, one of my kids is not related to me or her mom.
How many kids do you have again?
4.
All right. How's your family breakdown work?
All right, so I got my first baby mama where I have Caddy from. Then I got my second baby mama where I have Vial Style from. She has, so Vial Style has a half brother that is, so she shares with her mom. That's Turtle J, or at least we call him Turtle J. I call him my son, but he's not related to me. He is related to my daughter, though, my biological daughter. And he has another half sister, which is related to him, but is not related to his mom or me. But she lives with them too because of issues related from years ago. But because one of them is my biological kid, I just take care of all 3 of them, and I call them all my kids.
Complicated.
On paper it is, or trying to explain it to somebody it is, but as far as I'm concerned, they're just all mine.
Well, my dad's the baby of the family, and he was the only one my grandparents had together. They both had 2 kids with their other spouses. It's kind of funny how the names worked out. You had my grandfather have Rowena and Stephen Allen. And then you had my grandmother have Gina and my uncle Steve.
Dude, one of my brothers is 73.
Damn.
How many siblings you got, Elihu?
I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. I'm the youngest.
You're the baby, huh?
Yep. And I'm going to be 50.
Well, my dad had 3 kids with his first wife, 2 with his second wife, including me, and 0 with his third wife before he died. But out of my 3 half siblings, my 2 older brothers both passed before. One of them passed before I was born, and that's the one I'm named after. And my other brother died when I was 9, I believe. So my dad had 5, but only 3 are alive right now.
I've been an only child. Thank God for it. Although dealing with my father's stuff, being next to kin, has been a burden, but I knew it was going to fall to me at some point.
I just have well, the 2 bio kids, the 2 the ones I call adopted, and then about I don't want to count it right now, but a bunch of donations where I'm the bio father, but I'm not involved in any way.
Oh, I got a couple donations.
Yep.
You mean child support?
No, as in I
No.
donated sperm.
A couple donations. That was funny.
Yeah, I donated sperm, but I'm not the I'm the biological father for a few other kids, but I'm not involved at all. In fact, I don't even know the names or sexes of some of them.
You are not the father.
I thought that wasn't. I thought that was something you were supposed to be protected by people laws.
Yes, we are, because literally with each one, the first thing that happened was we had to go to see an attorney to sign certain paperwork. So yeah, it was very on the up and up.
Never done that.
What? Have kids? Donated sperm?
Well, I had 3 kids. I've never donated sperm. The only time I jacked off in a cup was when.
I don't want to hear about your finished bedroom sex life, dude.
No, the only time I jacked off in a cup was when I got my vasectomy done.
So
Okay.
let's change the subject, because I just don't want to have that mental thought in my head for longer than I need to.
Oh my gosh.
I actually think that this Karate Kid with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan, I think this could be something interesting after Cobra Kai.
China, Japan, makes no sense. What the make up your mind, Karate Kid franchise?
No,
Well, that's the thing. Hold on. They do actually explain it based on the stories that Mr. Miyagi told in Karate Kid 2.
Kung Fu and karate do have a long tradition.
Well, what I mean is in Karate Kid 2, he's talking about his dad. Mr. Miyagi's talking about his ancestor, who was a fisherman, was blown off course, ended up in China, comes back to Okinawa with a Chinese wife, and having been taught martial arts. And how you doing, Sci-Fi? That is you, right? I brought you up without verifying it was you.
Yep, that's
Sci-Fi.
Yep.
Okay. Otherwise, I was gonna. I quit. I had the screen still up because I'm about to drop you if it ends up not being you.
No. It's me, bud. I'm on my new laptop, so I had to make sure. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
what you like? What, Mike? You can't tell a Yitza?
No, it's because people have faked before. Remember, someone faked being Yvette and someone faked being Caddy. That's why I
tried the icons.
Yeah, no,
right.
I have that on my channel. That's why I keep it subscribers only. So
Yeah, you can either right click the image or screenshot and minimize the image and use as your
Yeah,
own. So
it's not hard to fake at all. So
yeah, it's easy, dude.
So yeah, I had my thumb on the button, just like make sure that's you. Just make sure that's you.
But
yeah, I had to hurry up and unmute while you were asking me that because I was muted because I'm getting my headphones and everything set up. I'm like, oh crap, no, it's me, Mike. It's really me.
But I think this new Karate Kid movie after the Cobra Kai, which I thought it did very well. Very well. I mean, I think it was the gold standard and needs to be taught of how you bring back a franchise from all those years ago and you make it work. And that's what they did. They honored the legacy characters while making us care about the new characters.
NB, can you like get a little closer to your mic? I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, buddy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh.
I think it wasn't plugged in all the way.
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with his thing, but Caddy's boyfriend was doing a live stream playing Minecraft, and you could just barely hear anything he was saying. And I'm like, he's streaming through OBS. I'm like, do you have the right microphone selected?
Yeah,
that,
OBS. OBS is a bastard when it comes to having everything set up right.
So, and I used OBS to record myself for my latest video, and originally I was trying to do the green screen effect in OBS, but I was disappointed with their chroma key.
Yep.
So I ended up just doing it in front of the green screen and changing the chroma key in DaVinci, and it was much better.
I'll tell you, for OBS supposedly being like this technical wonder, they don't have shit for like conveniences. So,
well, you remember my green screen is just a green tablecloth that I got from a party
don't
store.
matter.
So
it's
not
green.
even great.
It's green.
It works. It's works.
Green. It should work.
Yeah, $1.50. It works. Come on, that's what I used to use.
So we'll see how
you gotta
that
go out and buy a $50 green piece of cloth. It's green. It should work.
Yeah, plastic tablecloth in a party store, $1.50. Come on.
Yeah, that's basically what I paid for this. Yeah.
So what's up, Mike? What's up, Elihu? Hello, NB.
SSDD.
How you been, buddy?
What?
Same shit, different day. Stephen King reference.
Oh, okay.
Stand by Me. Come on.
Oh, Stand By Me. Yeah, I was thinking Lawnmower Man, but yeah.
SSDD.
Well, I was telling, it's been kind of a thing lately that I have to work on Sundays now. So I've been cutting the stream down at exactly or as close to 2 hours as possible.
Why you working on Sundays now, bud?
Okay, we have a certain client that for our company that requires all of their projects for the week be done by Tuesday. Okay. And my company is deathly afraid of any overtime being given to employees.
So you have to work on Sunday. How is that not overtime?
So I got because
hours.
Yeah,
hours.
it's the same amount of hours, but they don't want me to work more than 8 hours a day. So to get that project done, because I have, what is it? For that particular project, it's 6 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, and 3.5 hours. Okay. So basically, they gave me
17.5 hours. Okay.
So they gave me permission to work.
I think.
On Sunday for one of the projects, one of the 4-hour projects.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing one of the 4-hour projects Sunday, doing one of the the 6-hour project on Monday, and then I'm doing the 3.5 and the 4-hour project on Tuesday. So I'm not working over 8 hours on these projects per day. And then I can do some of the smaller projects to actually get up to my 8 hours each day for those stores.
No, this is all in different stores, though, right?
Yeah, I've although I'm down to only 4 stores, it's more stuff in those stores that I'm doing now.
Like, I'm like, how much advertising does one company need for some fizzy drink that they sell? I don't get
Well,
that.
we got the book license for Walmart,
Oh,
and because new books are released every week, the
dude,
book
it's
section needs
Walmart.
to be.
It's not Walden Books.
Yeah, but it still means that those sections have to be updated every week with the new releases.
Dude, I've yet to see a book section in my local Walmart.
Well, one of my stores actually has the largest book section out of any Walmart in San Diego.
No, seriously.
And
All the Walmarts I've been to, they like a book section. It's called the greeting cards. Okay.
well, all my stores have proper book sections. Some of them are only let's see, I think the least amount that I've seen is 20 feet of books. One of my stores has around 200 feet of books.
Jesus.
So
we've got super centers and Sam's Clubs that don't even have book sections in them. So.
Well, I mean, what state do you live in again? Because I live in California where people still buy books.
Yeah, no, it's called the internet. And we have actual like bookstores around here, so yeah.
ND. Vincent D'Onofrio made a statement about people who said that Daredevil got ruined by Kingpin. He says, "quote Thanks for the support, dumbass." Unquote.
Wait, Kingpin, the movie?
No, Daredevil, the Born Again.
Hey, I look at it this way. We're looking at the King, the Executioner, and the Devil coming back.
Yeah, here's the thing. It says, "It sucked actually, and your character is pathetic and thoroughly ruined." He said, "Thanks for your support, dumbass." I love that.
Yeah, he should be, because it was like, oh, the King is back.
The King is back, baby. Oh, that's a Duke Nukem line.
No, I mean, the King and the Devil, they're trying to fight their inner nature, which both of them know is damn near impossible. And Elihu knows what I'm talking about because he saw what he did to those cops.
Right.
Did he kill them? Oh my gosh. Like, what the fuck? Crack. Like, oh my gosh.
It was beautiful.
I love
Sorry.
He
Sorry, I'm laughing because
Elihu. He told him, "You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this."
that was a pure hate crime. I'm like, okay, blind. Doesn't know what we look like. Okay, goodbye. No, it was a pure fucking hate crime.
And they were just, and he's like, he's blind. He's like, "You don't want to do this." It's like they were so shocked because they thought it was harmless, because, of course, they have no idea he was the Daredevil.
Yeah, but now you got blood splattered all over the place, including his blood.
Oh, yeah, you have that.
So he cannot run away from that scene. Let's call Cherry to clean it up.
Well, once I saw that blood come down, I'm like, oh, you brought the devil back out.
Yeah, the blood was the premise of the original show. The blood. I'm like, yes.
So as far as I'm concerned, they're doing a good job so far on keeping to the original. I do not mind some of the procedural stuff. The White Tiger thing is going to be an interesting story arc.
Follow the White Rabbit.
That's Matrix.
One pill to make you strong.
I might have to go back and read the comic book it's based on.
Yeah, read comic book 838.
Yeah, I have,
834. 834.
I have a feeling he's going to see the Punisher to ask for his permission.
Frank Castle is coming back.
Oh, I know the Executioner is coming back.
You mean the Punisher?
Well,
Yeah, not
what I was saying is I had the nickname.
Executioner's DC.
I had the nickname for all three of them. You have the King, you have the Executioner, and you have the Devil.
I thought it was Larry, Daryl, and Daryl, but
I thought it was Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Actually, it was Larry, Curly, and Shemp at first.
Marsha.
Wait, I'm sorry. It was Kirk, McCoy, and Spock.
hey, Elihu, you know in Russian it's Masha, Masha, Masha.
Yet.
No, in Soviet Russia, the bunch Brady's you.
Okay, Yakov. Rest in peace. I miss that comedian. I missed him. He was funny. He was a funny dude.
Funny how his last name is that of a vodka.
I know. It was a stage name.
So my wife's been driving me nuts for a year and a half to watch Young Sheldon. Now, I didn't like The Big Bang Theory, but I have watched 3 episodes, and
Dude, I gotta tell you, even if you don't like the show, watch it for the blonde. That's all you gotta do.
well, what I'm saying is there was that episode in the first 3. I think it was the pilot or right after, where he's questioning the pastor. And I'm like, I'm a strong Catholic, but I'm also a guy who questions things. And I'm like, there was nothing wrong with what Sheldon was asking. It's the fact that the pastor couldn't answer the questions in a way he could understand. Because
Oh wait, hold on, MB. I forgot. Remember, at the hour marks, I wanted a plug, and I forgot to do that. So I'm going to do a quick plug for the channel or for the eBay store.
Buy something at SD GameSwap, or I'm going to put all of you in a cargo container and transport you to the Borg.
Oh no!
All right, so
Hey,
continue,
Borg
NB. I
Sounds
wanted to do
Swedish.
I'm supposed to do that at the hour mark. I forgot.
okay,
Wow, you're only half an hour late.
like I said, there was nothing wrong with what Sheldon was asking. It was the preacher didn't know how to answer the questions. And I thought about that episode. I'm like, I could have answered these questions.
Here's my question. How
Can
do
I
you...
finish?
Yeah, okay.
No.
I could actually have articulated that in a way he might have understood. Because of the way you guys have heard me talk about how I've questioned, well, I'm a Catholic, I have different interpretations of the St. Joseph's Bible than other people, and I don't blindly follow.
Well, I haven't seen the episode that you're talking about, but I can tell from experience something similar that happened because, when I was a kid, I was kicked out of our church because I asked too many questions. And I'm talking about when I was 7.
Yeah, I can believe it.
You were kicked out for being a kid, yeah.
That was also the thing is why I don't go to church much is I don't blindly follow. I like having interpretations. I like being able. We had this pastor in California who would go through the timelines of a verse and talk about the history of the time, explain what a bridegroom was, explain that there were professional weepers, people who got paid to do that. And, sometimes he said, he had this great saying. He would talk about certain different views on what people interpreted it, and he says, which one's right? I don't know. We move on. And I mean, that was how I wanted it to be. Give me a chance to interpret my faith the way I see it. Don't tell me how I have to interpret it.
In other words, let you be your own person. Now there is a Christian thing out there, and right, it's called Footprints in the Sand, right? And it's got Jesus. It's got Jesus standing there. It says, "Don't lead me, I might not follow. Don't follow me, I might not lead you where you want to go. Walk with me." Right? Walk with me and go with me, right? Which kind of goes back to like a Marine thing, lead, follow, or get out of the way type of thing. But yeah. So even Jesus said, don't lead me, I might not follow. Don't follow me, I might not lead you where you want to go. Just walk beside me. So there's that whole thing. And and to get back to your Sheldon thing, how are you supposed to answer something that's a scientific autistic genius? Like literally, how do you answer somebody like that? So
in a logical, practical way. Like,
right.
For example, when he said he talked about the 7 days of Christ.
Well, remember, hold on. I want to interrupt MB for a sec, because if I remember correctly, doesn't this show take place in the 80s?
Oh, the young Sheldon? Yeah.
Yeah, back then, a lot of people didn't know how to handle someone who was autistic.
Yes,
so
I understand that. And also, they weren't used to being questioned.
Yeah. Even in the 90s when it happened to me.
Yeah, even in the 90s, it was like, shut up, no, you're told.
That was the basically that was one of the things that one of my aunts was trying to get across from me. He's like, you don't question, you just follow.
Blindly follow means you're in a cult.
No, and you wonder why Gen X is the way we are. It's like, no, I ain't gonna follow you. I don't know where the hell you're going. Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, it's like, you want to follow God your way, I'll follow God my way. It's like,
my favorite parts of the Bible is when Jesus is alone talking to God by himself and nobody's around to hear it and write it down.
Yeah, because he's talking to himself.
Yeah, nobody's there to hear it, but somebody's writing it down. That's my favorite parts of the Bible.
Well, there's a lot of parts of the Bible that don't necessarily make a lot of sense, but that it's.
I mean,
remember hold on. Remember the idea behind it that a lot of people will say is you got to have faith that it happened.
Oh,
so that just
some schizophrenic sky spirit was talking to himself, but you could hear him. Okay.
Hey, you look at Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They talk about, or their scribes wrote, similar experiences, but not in the same way.
Well, so did a lot of other religions. But
I don't think it was John, because I think that was the first one. But which is the one that had the zombie uprising? I don't remember.
Was that Luke?
It's got to be either Matthew or Luke.
I can't remember what book it was, but yeah, like literally the dead rising.
The gospel where after Jesus comes back, apparently a lot of the dead people all came back too, and it's like that's
Yeah, even the ones that
That's a
don't
little
even
bit
have
beyond.
skeletons left are going to rise. Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to go into, trashing on the Bible too much right now.
No, we're not trying to do that. We're just having a conversation, folks.
But what's funny is
this is a conversation. I like having religious conversations.
but like I haven't gone through it yet, but someone left a copy of some of the excerpts of the Bhagavad Gita in English at one of my stores. So I asked and they let me take it. And I want to go through it just because I don't have my copy anymore because of the fire I had at my condo a number of years back.
I have
and
a
it's been a
question.
while.
I have a question. Like, okay, especially for like NB, because I know NB is. I don't know how religious NB is nowadays. He said he don't go to church. I haven't gone to church since I was like a preteen, right? So, like, how do you answer the door when Jehovah's Witnesses show up?
Naked.
Exactly.
I haven't had a Jehovah's Witness show up at my house since I was probably 17. And
wow. Okay, that's a while, yeah.
Hey, I got a story for you for that. My buddy Chuck, his dad, Charles, he had a couple of Jehovah's Witnesses show up at his house, and he's like, okay, he's in his shirt and his underwear. They sit down. He goes and has his gun there, and they were like, you have a gun? He goes, yeah, it's for shooting cans. You know, Mexicans, Africans, Americans. And then
Whoever walks in my door.
No, then he yells like, hey, honey, do we have any pot left?
No. All right.
Wow.
I probably have told this story before, but I'll tell it again.
No, hold on a second. He was like, there's got to be some seeds left in here. He's going through his ashtray, and the Mormons just finally leave.
As I said, I've probably told this story before, but I'll tell it again. Back when Caddy was a very young kid, and I was renting my dad and stepmom's guest house from him. Just so you understand, the guest house was small. It consisted of a single room, which I used as both living room and bedroom, a small kitchen area, and a garage. That's it. Okay.
Oh, my apartment without the garage. Hey, how you doing?
And the kitchen area is where the toilet was too. So that just tells you how small everything was.
Oh wait, no, I got you one better. At least I have a private, separate bathroom. So yeah.
No, this was the toilet was next to the only sink, and next to that was the only stovetop.
Toilet was in the kitchen, just like on How I Met Your Mother. What's her name?
So you made a studio.
Yeah, it was basically a studio apartment, yes, but the original owners used it as a server room. So the one bedroom that I used as a bedroom had like a bunch of outlets all over the place because they just had a lot of power.
Well,
but
I hate to see the wiring job behind those walls.
So, as I said, very small place. So I'm sleeping on the couch because I didn't actually have a bed. And at the time, I'm going to school. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm taking care of Caddy when she was a kid, and I'm working 12 hours a night at my job. And I had just got home. It was, 6 o'clock in the morning. The first thing I do is I go straight to sleep for as many hours as I can before I got to go to school. And right as I'm about to fall asleep, I get a knock on my door, and it's 2 Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, I told you about all the outlets and everything, so that room got kind of warm, so I slept naked. And I throw on a tattered cotton green robe, and that's all I'm wearing. And I open the door, and they're like, "Oh, they gave me the spiel, and I said, you know what? I wanted to say no. I wanted to go to sleep, but that little voice in the back of my head saying "fuck with them" kind of won out.
Hardcore.
So again, to describe my the room, I got a couch on one side with the refrigerator. I have on the other side is where my clothes are hanging up. I got my TV, and I have another like armchair, which is across the room, so it faces the couch. So I sit in the armchair, they sit on the couch, and I sit fully man-spreading.
Man-spreading.
And they are doing everything possible not to look at my junk. While I'm like, oh, go ahead, tell me all about what you're, what.
Oh, your black and curlies crawling up from underneath you.
And these guys were like literally just scanning the walls, looking at the TV that's turned off, looking everywhere possible other than me and my junk.
It amazes me how much bullshit they put up with just to get the message out.
And I don't know if they were actually Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons, to be honest, but I think they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah,
they had a little name tag, the Mormons.
You got Utah out there by you, right? So, yeah.
Well, I'm in Southern California, so no.
Well, yeah.
And the chat, I want to say hi to
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
She spent yesterday at the Women's March down in TJ.
Hey, Marisol, how you doing?
That's what I used as my thumbnail for this stream was the poster she made, or her and a classmate, I believe.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Oh my God, Jehovah's Witnesses. We used to. I remember there was one in Sumter, South Carolina, and I looked at it, I'm like, there's no fucking windows. Apparently I didn't even know that was a thing for these people. They don't have any fucking windows, and they don't celebrate.
Well, yeah, they're allergic to sunlight, apparently. Did you see how many clothes they wear?
Well, when I was in high school, I had my first truck was a Mitsubishi light duty pickup, but it had a camper shell. So me and my dad, carpeted the back. We built wheel well covers out of wood and stuff, and carpeted them. So basically, I could have people in the back. And at one point when I was in high school, I had my friend Penny and her girlfriend Stacy in the back of my truck while I was driving, and we were driving past two Mormons riding their little bicycles.
Yeah.
And they had the bright idea to push out the back of the camper shell window so it lifted up and flash the Mormons.
Nice. Did they lift their skirts up?
They didn't lift their skirts up. They just pulled up their shirts.
Okay.
And I was watching it in my side mirror, and I see them in the rear view mirror lifting up their shirts. I look at my side mirror and I see both the Mormon boys look, and then their front wheels go crazy, and then they both fall onto their asses off their bikes.
I had this what happened one time? I had Jehovah's Witnesses come over one time, and I was so tired, and I just wasn't in a remote. And I'm like, they walk up, and they're female. I'm like, are you Jehovah's Witnesses? And they're like, yeah. They're like, yes. I'm like, all right, say your piece so I can go to sleep. Do you accept Jesus in your heart? I said, I already have long ago. I don't need you. And they wanted to do a prayer, and I was like, fine, let's do a prayer and then go to the next house. I was being tolerant, but I was just so annoyed because I was so tired that day.
They always show up at the worst times.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's like, what the hell you doing bothering me at this time of the day?
Like seriously, like the only time I've had them show up at my house is like A, when I had a hangover, which doesn't happen often, or B, when I'm actually sick. And it's like, for fuck's sakes, really? Why the fuck you at my door now?
What wasn't there a joke about like how many Jehovah's Witnesses does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Too goddamn many.
No, it just takes 2, but they have to come while you're eating dinner.
No, yeah. Actually, in my house, that makes sense because I make dinner from scratch. So.
That actually is funny, and I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, because then they invite all their friends. You're like, oh, hell no. Nope.
It's like I can change my own light bulb. Fuck off.
Well, I think that's why it's a joke.
Yep. And then don't even try to break the light bulb because they're going to tell you 6 different ways from Sunday on how to fucking change it. So
it's like screw out, screw in. It requires screwing.
Yeah, like they don't know how to use a potato cut in half to get a broken light bulb out of a socket. So,
oh, I've had to do that a few times.
But it's funny. I've actually done that before. Broken a light bulb when I seen them outside.
Really?
Just to see what they would do to try to change it. Yeah. And they had to call this friend or that friend and next friend. I'm like, why don't you just cut a potato in half? Stick it up there and unscrew the damn thing. And they're like, ow.
You'd have thought they'd have known that in school. I mean, that was basic. I mean, not even in school. That was just
that's just general. That's general knowledge, right? So come on.
Yeah, you got a broken. You can't get it out. It's a broken light bulb with a screw. Busted the light bulb with this. You're trying to get out of the socket. You cut the damn potato in half. You stick it up there, and
well, hold on. You left out a step. You make sure you turn off the power to that outlet before you stick the potato on, or else your hair goes all crazy.
Not if it's a Jehovah's Witness. You make them look like Doc Brown.
But when you're talking about like common methods to get something done, okay. I'll give you an example of something that took me an hour and a half Friday to get done. Most of you may know that I got a new car back in December.
I did, but congrats.
All right, but I still have the old van. Okay, yep. But it's it's got its issues. But I'm mostly using it as it's got a big back end, so I'm using it for storage.
It's got a flat ass. That's storage.
So I was moving stuff from one car to the other on Friday because I'm going to, on that Friday, I was grilling with the kids at the park after school. And, but when I went to shut the door on my old van, it wouldn't shut. I'd pull the handle, and this is a Honda Odyssey, so it's supposed to have the automatic doors and sliding doors. So the inside handle didn't work. The outside handle didn't work. The little button by the driver's side didn't work. And I'm like, what the hell? I got to get this door shut. So I go online and I look up tutorials, reset your computer system. So I reset the computer system. Still didn't work. Like, okay, pull the fuse for that door, wait a while, put it back in. And,
shutting the damn thing with your hand.
Well, that's the thing is I couldn't, with my hands, I couldn't open it or close it either. It was just stuck in the open position.
I just literally saw something on YouTube. Like the new Mustang Mach-E's, the electric Mustangs, do not have any mechanical way to open a door if your battery goes dead. Like, seriously. So yeah.
Well, this, as I said, I don't know if I did say it, but like the driver's side is the one that had this problem. Is the passenger side still worked just fine, and I'm like, okay, so what's going on? I got to figure this out. I'm watching YouTube video after YouTube video of people trying to diagnose it. Finally, I find a video from that's talking about a version of the Honda Odyssey that's like 10 years older than mine. And he just goes, oh, just stick a screwdriver in here, hit the latch manually, and you can close the door. And I'm like, okay, let me try that. So I pull out my, utility tool, but
Yeah, your Leatherman. Yeah, just call it a Leatherman.
It's basically a poor man's Leatherman. And I hit the latch, and I'm able to close the damn door finally. And of course, as soon as I close the door, it starts working just fine again.
I got a Letterman. I got an actual Letterman.
You got a Letterman? Hey, I bet Dave appreciates you.
Hey, where is it?
I have a Letterman. It was actually kind of
See, look. I got an actual Letterman. See,
it's a Letterman, all right.
Wait, is that a Wave? Is that a Leatherman Wave?
yes.
Fuck you! I love that knife. I wish I still had mine.
I saw. See, I even have the case to it too.
Wait, is that the one with all the bells and whistles on it, Elihu?
Yep, scissors, knife.
So basically, it's an overpriced Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
No,
basically can openers.
Corkscrew.
No corkscrew.
Well, what the fuck is it for then?
does it at least have the bottle top?
Yes, it has it.
You see,
Well,
when I was in the
I
Marine
miss-
Corps, we actually got issued Lettermans because we needed them.
Oops, sorry,
Hey.
wrong button.
Dandelion Fluff, how you doing? Good to see you.
See,
Well, as I said, I'm jealous because I had one of those. I don't know what ended up happening to it, and I loved that friggin' knife or that
Hey,
tool.
hey, Gorilla, how
Trust
you
me, I
doing?
use the screwdriver part a lot.
yeah, the eyeglass screw, my eyeglasses. I love that.
You know what? You know what I hate? When my reading glasses get messed up. So I gotta find the ones that are messed up just to put the screw back in the ones I want to use.
Hey, the whole
Because I can't. Yeah, when my reading glasses get messed up, it's like I got to keep a spare set of glasses just so I can see what I'm doing to put the screw back in the reading glasses I want to use.
Well, that was one of the things we had to have was the Letterman because you had it attached to your
Oh, those
belt
magnifying
to help
glasses are a joke, though, on those tools. I'm telling you.
I know.
Well, my Wave didn't have a magnifying glass. It had basically everything else. No corkscrew either, but it was like everything on there was a tool type thing. Not
They
Yeah,
didn't have the right tool. They didn't have a corkscrew.
well, I don't use a corkscrew that often.
I know.
I don't. I rarely drink wine.
You know. Okay. Maybe I'm using these tools for the wrong reasons. I don't know. I mean, mine's got corkscrews, bottle openers.
Like I told NB, I don't want to hear anything about your sexual fetishes. Okay.
Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with that stuff. I'm just saying that comes in handy when the girl is sitting next to you and you
Like
got
I
to
said,
open
I don't want to hear about your sexual fetishes.
One of the funny things is with my poor man's Leatherman that I do have, one of the things I use fairly often is the can opener. And I was trying to show one of my kids how to use the can opener to actually open a can. And
Oh,
she
you
was
mean-
like, having,
a tin can. Oh, like a Zagway.
like a P38.
Yeah, Zagway.
but it was just like,
the thing is, you use the can opener wrong anyway.
well, what I mean is she's used to the one where it opens, it has little wheels on there and you turn the crank. And I'm like, this is just a single solid piece that has a sharp
very
end and a
sharp
hook.
metal. Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and I'm trying to show her how to use it. And she's like, this is way too difficult. I'm like, well, that's all we had when I was growing up and we went out camping. And so this is the closest you're going to get to it. You need to learn how to do this in case you ever, are in this situation, you want to open a goddamn can.
Really? Because my dad even brought the dollar store can opener when I was a kid, man. Come on.
Hey, let me ask you a question. How do you open a can? With
a can opener.
Yes, but do you do it from the top or do you do it from the side?
It depends.
It depends. What style of can opener are you using?
If you're talking about the one that you know, I know which one you're talking about, MB. It depends because if I'm doing something like tuna, where I'm going to try to strain it out without as much all the liquid, I do it from the side so I can push the lid down and strain the liquid, especially for like that.
We actually sell can openers that do they're called rollover can openers, right? So they roll the top over so you don't get that sharp edge. What I don't like is tuna is starting to come with those easy open lids, and I hate that shit because I can't put the lid down inside of it to squeeze the juice out without getting half damn contents of the damn tuna can down my sink drain.
I agree.
I had that problem
but if it's a can I plan on reusing, like if I'm just making a
who the hell
burrito for myself, and I mean I got some refried beans, I open it from the top. That way I can put the lid back on and put it in the fridge.
Well, yeah, that's why they make these brand new can openers. I don't know if they're new, but they're called rollover openers, where you can. What it does is it cuts the lid, but it makes it to where you can seal the top back onto the can that you just opened, instead of leaving this piece of tin that can cut you 6 ways from Sundays. So,
well, the original concept of the can opener was you cut things from the top.
Well, that's
I actually have a Swiss Army knife too. Look at this. Here's the can opener.
Wow, you got an actual one, not the one from the Salvation Army. Good for you.
Yeah, I have an actual Swiss Army knife, man.
I remember when those used to come in the MREs.
Oh, really?
My dad used to bring home MREs from Camp Grayling when I was a kid.
Oh, those are so delicious. I love the little hot sauce packages in them.
Were they MREs or were they C-Rats?
C-Rats, but 4 out of 10 had Swiss Army knives in them.
Probably because that's how they had to cut the cans open.
Yeah, that's how they had to cut the cans open. But
yeah, the small little knives.
The only time, but this was in the 80s, right? So the only time they had cans is if it was something like really rare. So,
well, my dad was in during the 80s and he remembered doing C-Rats.
My dad was in the 40s.
Yeah, my grandparents were in the 40s. Both my granddaddies were in, my one grandpa was in the Navy in World War II. He was a radio man in the back of he flew in the back of a plane. They were doing raids over Truck Island and stuff like that. My other grandpa was a Marine, and he was doing the actual land invasions and stuff like that.
My father was at Pearl Harbor, and I remember him telling me stories about him waking up at the bar, running to the field, watching his ship being sunk.
Now, my dad was a Marine at the tail end of Vietnam. I was born in '76, and he was in the Marines years before I was born. So, yeah, I mean,
I found mine.
So, I'm 45. So, are you 48 or 49?
I'm 49.
Okay. Yeah, I was born in '79. I joined the Marines in 98.
Yeah,
hey, Mike, you got 1 minute.
94, so.
Yeah. Well, we can try to talk more about this next week. But I gotta get to work soon,
Mike.
So, which one should I end with?
Jacques Shale.
What? Which one is that?
The victory song with Worf going to the planet with the Klingons.
The prison song. The prison song.
Yeah, the prison song.
Klingon prison.
Fail.
All right.
Bagda tumo shoja duro yaja ke o yaja ke o yaja ke o.
Oh wait, hold on. I hit the button. I failed. Hold on.
You've got the key.
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining.
Buy something at SD GameSwap.
Avoid super battle droids, but not the super deals at SD GameSwap.
There we go.
Nice.
All right.
I love the way Caddy just points that phaser at you and says, "Okay, Dad."
Die,
Yeah,
Daddy, die. She switches to the kill. I love that.
that phaser might be making another appearance in a future Vile review. So just letting you guys know. All right.
Yeah, it needs to be one where you get phased out of existence.
I remember Vile Mike and the Vile Child, Star Trek reviews. Wow, Caddy grew up. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see more of those.
Well, Sci-Fi, have you seen the new one? The one I released last month?
No, not the newest one. I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah. And then I'm hoping to get the next one out before the end of this month. I meant to get it out in friggin' February because I wanted to try to do one a month, but with my work schedule the way it is, it's just been a pain in the ass. But all right, I gotta go. So later, folks.
Later, folks.
Later, weirdos. Don't forget, look up on the 13th at 11:26 p.m. Pacific time for the Total Lunar